Welcome to the 1204. A lot of women go to countries like Turkey to get plastic surgery or cosmetic surgery. And majority of the time, they live to tell the tale. Majority of the time, most of these people are happy with the results of their cosmetic surgery. However, when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. Let's just say 500 women went to Turkey and they got a cosmetic procedure. And out of that 500, one of the women passed away during cosmetic surgery. Even though it's 1 out of 500, that is one death too many. Because I believe human life is precious. I don't believe any of that spooky nonsense about a afterlife. I believe you have one life. And it's a great shame that somebody will lose their life doing something that they don't have to do. Now, I could understand if this was some kind of, if you went under the knife in a hospital for a procedure that's going to save your life. I'm talking about if it's to cut out cancer of a part of the body. If it's something along those lines and you do the surgery and it is a bit of a coin toss whether you live or you pass away and you pass away, fair enough, because that person had no choice. But whenever I see women pass away doing these procedures, it really does not sit right with me. And I think that is a waste of life. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not against cosmetic procedures. But I am against it when it goes wrong. And I should imagine that anyone would be. I'm going to go back to 2020. I was with this chick. And since 2018, she has been talking about going to Turkey to go under the knife. Since 2018, she was talking about that. But in 2018, this was during a lockdown. Well, it was during a lockdown, but it was no, actually. So you remember we went into lockdown. I believe it was March 2020. But then the lockdown lifted up. But then we went back into lockdown again. So this was the time the lockdown started to lift and people they were advised against it, but they were flying out the country. So it was around that time. So she wanted to go to Turkey to get a cosmetic procedure done. And I was 100% against it. I just had a bad feeling about it. I had a terrible feeling about her going over to Turkey to have this procedure done. Now, this is quite personal to me, so I won't go into too much detail, but I was definitely against it. But I knew in my mind that her mind was set, and I weren't going to change it. She had a mindset and she was going to Turkey. And I just had a terrible feeling about it. And she paid a deposit for this procedure. And in my opinion, there was so much red flags. The way the person was with her over the phone. This woman over the phone was just like, yeah, 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 yeah. That it wasn't even like, there wasn't asking her much questions. It was just about, everything was just, it sounded like she was buying a car, basically. And in my opinion, it needs to be, I think those things need to be face to face. Because you are going to be put to sleep, you are going to be unconscious, they are going to open your body. They are going to cut you open. Therefore, this needs to be face to face. It can't just be over the phone where you're handing over money. So anyway, she ended up giving this woman a deposit of over 1,000 British pounds. And I remember this chick, her sister-in-law, said to her, said to the girl at the time, have you told them about your XYZ? Because this woman who was going to get surgery had a medical condition. So when the sister-in-law said to her, have you told them about your XYZ? I was like, yeah, that's a great question. Have you told them about your XYZ? And she went, no. And I'm like, what the fuck? Tell them about your XYZ. And then she told them about her XYZ. And then this woman was just like, oh, that's fine. You'll be okay. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? And my biggest worry was that she wasn't going to wake up from that surgery. And this chick wanted me to come with her. She wanted me to come with her. And I told her, listen, your sister is going to have to come along too. Because I demanded that her sister came along. And here's my reason. The reason why I wanted her sister to come along is because I did not want to be the one to start calling around her family members. I didn't want to be the one to call her mother to let her mother know that, listen, your daughter's not coming back on that plane. Because, like I said, I had a bad feeling about this. A terrible feeling. And then we went into another lockdown. This was at the ending of 2020. So the borders were closed and she couldn't actually go, which was great. Now, I won't go into the rest of the situation with that girl. That will be for another day, only because yeah, it's quite deep. But woke up this morning and I saw something on the internet about a British mother of two who went to Turkey to go and get some kind of so-called mummy makeover. Now, this chick's name is Kaydell Brown. Now, judging by the accent of her family members, I will assume that this chick is from the Yorkshire area of England. Could be Bradford, could be Leeds, Sheffield, Halifax. They all sound the same to me. So she's obviously from one of those areas. And this chick went over to Turkey to get a so-called mummy makeover, only to not wake up. They put her to sleep and she stayed asleep. Now, how sad is that this chick lost her life doing something she never had to do? Because like I said previously, that if this was a surgery that was going to save her life, to remove something in her body that shouldn't be there, then that's a different story altogether. But this was all about vanity. And guess what? If it went right, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the fact that it went wrong, I have a problem with this. Now, her two boys have lost their mum. Over what? Over what? Because this half-caste chick wants to go and take pictures for the Instagram. Oh, 1204, how could you be so insensitive? How do you know she wanted to take pictures for the Instagram? Listen, you plunker. Why else would this chick go and do that to her body? I have never seen a chick go to Turkey to go and butcher their body just to wear a fucking burqa. I have never seen a chick go and butcher her body in Turkey just to become a hermit. I have never seen a chick go and butcher her body in Turkey to live a celibate lifestyle. This chick, like the rest of the chicks, they go Turkey so they can skin out their blood clot. Wine up them body. That's why they go to Turkey. And it's cost her her life. And the worst thing about this story is this. When they managed to get the body back to the United Kingdom, after examining the body, the brain was missing, the heart was missing, some of the intestines were missing. Without even consent, you start to steal body parts from this woman. That is disgusting. That hospital should be named and shamed where this woman passed away. And people need to avoid that place like the plague. But unfortunately, the power of vanity is so strong that people will still go there. Because like I said in this earlier on in this video, more people live to tell the tale than actually pass away. So you're still going to get people who are going to go over there. And with a bit of decent PR, with a good spokesperson of this cosmetic clinic or hospital, whatever you call it, they can easily say, well, this chick had health complications, she was fat, she was overweight, XYZ, and that's why she passed away. But you are a young, healthy 21-year-old woman, and you will not meet the same fate as this fat chick from Yorkshire. I'm going to do a part 2 to this video because I don't know why my phone is only allowing me to record 16 minutes 55 seconds. Maybe I need to delete more items from my storage. Peace.